on or competencies. And rapid learning has what they call, and I had a little slide, y'all can look at it later, but they create a journey. And they've got these short vignettes, I guess you'd call them, of little 5 to 7 minute videos. And they're research-based, so their training is seen as credible. They focus on a single concept that encourages engagement and retention, and they're only 5 to 7 minutes, so they're very short. It keeps people easily engaged. But they would take 4 or 5 of those with this group of employees, and I like this screen because I can imagine when I was new in leadership and development, it's like these 4 topics are new manager pitfalls, 6 managerial styles you need to lead effectively, your mindset makes all the difference, framing corrective feedback in a positive way. Now, didn't we all mess up on all that? Or still, so it's the kind of things for new managers to train them so that they have good skills moving forward. But that would be one opportunity for leadership development. The other is the NACO High Performance Leadership Academy. And that we would probably focus on our new hires or newly hired or promoted department heads. We've had a group of employees from Animal Services, their new managers participated in this 12-week training or development course. And it says it empowers frontline government professionals with the most fundamental leadership skills to deliver results for our counties and our communities. And it focuses on 5 areas: leading, organization, collaboration, communication, and then delivery of services. So I just think we have a real opportunity with leadership development if we can work on that this year. Do I need to talk about cost, or it's in there? Okay. The next initiative we're looking at is NeoGov, and NeoGov is an applicant tracking and application collection software. Now, we had budgeted it for it last year, so we already have it, and we will, there's NeoGov, and we will implement it this year. We have another technology project that's in the works right now. It's called ExecuTime. It's a timekeeping and leave tracking system, and once it's fully implemented across the county, then we'll look at this NeoGov because we need IT support for it. But it will allow applicants to apply online. The system will automatically screen applications. We can email the applications to the department, and then after the department makes their selections, we can email applicants and let them know that they've been filled. So I think this will very much streamline our recruitment process, and plus it makes us look modern. The way we collect paper applications, this is just a step up, help us look very professional. Also with this system, it includes a free we pay for it on the back end, but it's governmentjobs.com, so it's another source of recruitment for us. Okay, flexible work options. So we began a telework task force back in April because as we started reopening greater public access, we never discontinued services, but as more and more more people have gotten their COVID vaccines, we created greater access. But we saw during the pandemic, or in many places, not many, some, that telework work off-site could be just as efficient as work on-site. So we've got a group of managers from across county government, and they have varying degrees of and interest in flexible work schedules, including telework. We've got some people that say no, never, and we've got some people that say yes, we can do this. But it is something that we are looking at. First and foremost, you see that first bullet, business operations must be priority. There can't be any loss in proficiency. So what this group will be doing is looking at creating a plan, or actually a a draft policy and presenting that to the county manager to see when and if telework can be options for some of our positions. Not all positions would be eligible. It won't work in all cases. But in situations where it can help the county, especially in IT, if they're home and there's an issue where something goes down the system, then they can log in or whatever magic they do and make the system up and running again. Our classification plan. So we've had 2 classification studies in the last 10 years. We had the Springstead study that was implemented in 2012, and that took us to open ranges, where employees are moved not on a step, but just by percentage in the pay plan. And then Piedmont Triad Regional Council conducted a 3-year study, 2017 to 2019, and we moved back to steps. So we feel like we've got a good, solid classification plan, but what we would like to do is optimize use of that plan. So right now, the way most employees are hired, they're hired at the beginning of the plan or base, and they move up to step 12 or 12% from the minimum in about 2 years. So then you've got from steps 13 to 44 that are open, and what HR would like to do is just look at options that might be available for moving people along. I mean, I've heard from departments that that might be a retention tool if we can come up with some factors that, you know, employee can get increased job skills or increased job knowledge, and we might tie pay increases through the steps to that increased job knowledge and skills. So that's just another thing that we've been looking at or considering. This slide just shows the history of the different market and COLA adjustments. For you all are probably familiar with it, but if not, it just puts them all right here together. Merit. About 4 years ago, we reinstated merit for county employees. It's for those employees that are at step 12 or higher and are your high achievers. The challenge with merit, and it's been a good thing, but our merit pot of money has stayed stagnant 10 years, forever, okay, forever. So as employees have received COLAs and market adjustment merit increases and these classification studies, their salaries have gotten higher, which is good, but then when an employee does get a merit, it's a higher merit. It takes up more of that pot of money. So as you can see, if you look at 2018, 2019, 159 employees received a merit. It was average 31 cents on the dollar, or 31 cents on their pay rate, 31 cents more to their pay rate. Then in 2019-20 and again in 2021, that decreased to 27 cents. Now, a few more employees did get merit, but we need to really look if merit is going to be an effective tool for recruitment and retention, increasing that money. I think it's about $115,000, but it's spread across all departments. 125. Okay, so we might need to look at doubling that pot to make it more effective, because we've got, I think there's 879 full-time positions, and you see, I was going to do the percentage, but 167 are eligible, were able to receive a merit. So about 20%, a little less than 20%. Okay. I always like to share with you all information from the School of Government about what other counties are doing for benefit-wise. This comes directly from the School of Government data. If you ever want to consider any other benefit options for county employees, or just something to consider, if you look at dental insurance premiums, 51 of 79 counties pay a portion of their employee-only dental insurance, 25, they pay 25% to 100%. So 26 of the 51 counties pay 100% for the employee insurance premium. Another benefit consideration could be the 401k. This would be for the non-sworn employees. So 81 counties offer 401k for their non-sworn employees, as does Randolph County. So 54 counties contribute to the 401k, well, and as does Randolph County. 27 contribute 3% or more. We contribute up to a 2% match for non-sworn employees. And 11 will contribute a 1 to 5% match. Okay, so Human Resources is also requesting a position this year. And our reason for our request is really for the retention and recruitment, better recruitment efforts. I mean, you heard several department heads say that it's just really a challenge. And if I can have someone that really focuses more on recruitment efforts, maybe going out to colleges and universities, maybe doing more outreach, and making our benefit, we have such a great benefits package. We really do. Our benefits, I feel like we've got competitive pay, but really putting that out there so that people know what a value they would get by coming to Randolph County. But we really need to promote it. So the last time a position was added to Human Resources was in 2010. We had 4 positions, and that increased us to 5. And since 2010, we've added 144 full-time positions, of course not counting the ones that have been requested tonight. If you look online at different average ratios, some say that for every 100 employees, you should have 1 HR staff member. I don't know, y'all, statistics. You can about find anything for what you want, but a ratio of 1 to 100 sounds fairly reasonable. We had almost 900 positions in last year's budget, so that would mean a staff of 9. So we're willing just to take 1. And again, that would help support our recruitment efforts, family medical leave. If we were to get an additional position, the overall cost would be $53,409 because we would take the current administrative assistant position that we have and reclassify it down so the cost of that position would be less. That position would save $6,067. The HR technician position would be $59,476. So then the difference, the total additional cost would be $53,409. Okay. I thank y'all. You all have heard a lot. I thank you for your time and appreciate your consideration of HR initiatives. I appreciate, you all know how hard our employees worked last year. We've got good staff and we appreciate them. I was going to share a few COVID numbers with you, but I'm going to email them to Dana and Sarah and let y'all know how much of that emergency sick leave time and stuff we used last year. It's kind of interesting. Okay, y'all have any questions?
This is my term. Are we, one of these pages here that you were referring to, are we trying to get better at working at home?
We want to consider it as an option.
I would just be cautious about that. We do serve the public.
Yes, I agree. We do. What I'm seeing, Commissioner Fry, is that what they call hybrid, where employees do some remote work and some in-office work, not 100% remote. And what I'm seeing is that's what some generations are going to expect, some level of that. But I agree, we've got to be very careful because we do serve the public.
Well, I have some experience with that in my employment.
Okay.
Some people are not as dedicated and disciplined
Yes.
when they're at home by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And my main point is that we do serve the public and they expect us to be there for them.
And I appreciate that. And I will tell you, in our telework task force, one department shared that they had to separate some employees because, as you said, they were not as productive. And what we've talked about is back to that leadership development. It takes supervisors and managers that are committed to seeing what their employees do, following up when they're not taking responsibility, and it puts more responsibility back on people being strong supervisors to make anything work really in the office or remote.
I
But-
think it's a valid option for those positions that are not forward-facing all the time.
Right.
And you are right, it goes to the leadership of the department. I mean, I know, I had a conversation with my sister who works for a large financial institution, and she talked about what's the discussions that are taking place there that are, right now as they look at the future and options for employees. I have another one that works for SAS, and she has talked about discussions that are taking place there. And I think if it would help us to give employees some options, if they can demonstrate that the work is being done, then I think it is certainly worth considering, and it's always something we can pull back if it
Yes.
isn't being done.
Absolutely, and there would be trial period, not just a free-for-all person could be pulled back into the office as needed. It is just something to be considered.
Accountability.
Yes, ma'am, yes, leadership and accountability. So your concerns are the same ones that have come up in our task force. And we, of course, you all would know, you all will know. That's why I just want to let you know that it's something that we're talking about. I know what I was going to say. We've got to think about facilities too, as we do grow. If more facilities are needed when we have more positions and where we're going to put people. And so some places talk about desk sharing. Okay, you familiar with that term?
Yeah.
So there's an office with a computer and a phone, and I work in the office 3 days and then telework 2 days. But then, Sam comes into the office on the 2 days I'm teleworking. He works in the office and then works remotely the other 3. That's just, again, that would go back to business necessity. Do we have the space? And a lot of businesses that do telework, they provide like the laptop basic resource, but an employee would need to provide if they needed a additional computer screen or a printer. They would need a certain level of bandwidth. To make sure, if you're out somewhere that doesn't have it, then we need you in the office. So there are a lot of considerations. So, but appreciate you all sharing your concerns.
I like to see us be flexible. I know years ago, I did a 50% position
Okay.
with the Ashburn City Schools, and I shared that position. I was a reading intervention specialist, and she was too. Neither one of us wanted to work full-time. They were having trouble finding somebody full-time. So we split the position, and they allowed us flexibility in working it out. It worked great. When I left, she had lesson plans for 5 days. When she left, there were lesson plans for 5 days for me. I worked 5 days in a row, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then she came in and worked Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So they got at least one good employee. Robin, if you're listening, sorry, the good employee was me. Kidding.
Right.
But they got that position filled quite capably where otherwise it might not have been by offering that.
Right.
So if we can have some flexibility and still make sure the jobs are done well, then I think I think we're in competition for people to do these jobs. And if we want good people, then we have to offer them something that they can get somewhere else. Maybe they can't get it somewhere else, which makes us attractive, but we know plenty of other places are doing the same thing.
Right.
I think a lot of people are using that hybrid model where coming in, at least reporting in at least some parts during the week.
Right.
But not always, you know, totally remote, at least having, and from the employee standpoint, you get that camaraderie that, you know, is the other thing that people are looking for, is to make sure that everybody's, you know, on the same page, and you get to collaborate some too. So I think probably a lot of folks are going to be on some type of hybrid that, where it's conducive to doing that. In some instances, you know, it's not.
Right. No, the person that's the receptionist, the person that collects money at the front desk at the tax department, no.
Yeah, I worked from home Tuesday afternoon, and I was basically totally worthless. You know,
Right.
it just did not work for me. So I have to go in the office, and there may be people we have to maybe give a choice and give some guidance to. So.
Right.
No, I mean, that was the Blessed County stuff I kept getting emails about. But it's sometimes hard to get that, you have to be very disciplined.
You do, and that's another thing that has come up. There's a lot to think about, and not just rolling something out quickly and it just fail, but considering all these things. And like I said, we've got a good group that's across the county, some very against and some very for, which I think is good. We need that. So, thank you.
I think efficiency suffers. I've experienced that
Oh, okay.
very much.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Jill.
you.
Okay, Will.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The administration budget, the manager's already talked about the media specialist, and Jill's already talked about the leadership programs, the recruitment software, and the position that she needs, and that's pretty much all the story for administration for this year.
All right, any questions of Will? All right, that concludes the agenda we had tonight. Thank each one of you that stuck around to the end and for your participation. And I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Thank you. All right.